Imagine you're on a night out with family at a bowling alley. Everyone is having fun until suddenly your young toddler disappears without a trace. This was the reality for one family when their 2-year-old daughter went missing from a busy bowling alley. Almost 30 years later, she still remains missing. Disclaimer, this case involves the discussion of a missing child. I never victimize, nor do I make excuses for people who commit these horrendous crimes. I believe in learning from these tragic events. Everything I write is based on the information I've gathered from multiple sites and opinions drawn on what I've learned from my personal perspectives. Everyone is presumed innocent until found guilty in a court of law. Hello, welcome back to my channel where I deep dive into true crime, paranormal phenomena, cults, and history. Please like and subscribe. This is Missing Mondays, where I specifically talk about disappearances, some found, but most are ones who still need to be found. I'm going to discuss a case that's very close to my heart, got me curious as a child into true crime, but without further ado, let's get into today's case. Today's case takes place in Tacoma, Washington in 1999. If you're unfamiliar, Tacoma is located near the Puget Sound, 32 miles southwest of Seattle, with a population of around 228,000 in 2025. It is known for its factories and ports. As part of my Disappearance series, I'm discussing the disappearance of Teekah Lweis. She spent the night of January 23rd at the New Frontier Lanes bowling alley with her family. In the time it would take to roll a bowling ball down the lane, Teekah would be gone. This is her story. Teekah Lweis was born to Teresa Chapesky and Robert Lewis on July 4th, 1996. Robert was not a big part of her life because he was serving a 4-year sentence for theft. Teekah was such a mommy's girl and close to her siblings. She was the third of 4 siblings. She loved them so much that she checked on them each morning. The family described Teekah as a mature toddler who was always by her mother's side. She had a really strong bond with her mother, Teresa. She slept mainly with Teresa, and if anyone, even relatives, would pick her up, she would want to go back to her mom. Every day she would watch Winnie the Pooh. She was obsessed with a stuffed Pooh Bear, and she had a blanket she was attached to. She loved cereal for breakfast, french fries, and to snack on Starbursts. She was described as shy, but very happy. On the evening of January 23rd, 1999, Teekah, who was 2, went to the New Frontier Lanes in Tacoma, Washington with her family. This said to be a rare occasion for the family as they did not go out much. They were located at lanes 7 and 8. This centered them in the bowling alley, making it possible to keep an eye on Teekah. It was a busy night because it was league night at the bowling alley. Multiple family members kept looking back to check on the kids at the arcade. Teresa asked family members to watch her while she took her turns. Teekah spent most of her time at the claw machine and returned to get coins. Her uncle helped her win a teddy bear, which she gave to her then 10-month-old sister. By 10 p.m. that night, Teekah began playing one of those race car games. This is when Teresa looked away to watch her brother bowl, but when Teresa returned her glance to Teekah, she was gone. She asked where Teekah was, but no one knew. This is the moment where I'd go off, but I do want to pause the story for a moment. I have seen a lot of comments blaming Teresa, but I am gonna shut that crap down right now. She got family members to watch her, whether they lost track of time or someone took the right moment, or both. It is not Teresa's fault. It is the freak that took her. I'm sure she blames herself enough. No need to pile on. I must say her sister Dawn said that she looked away for 10 seconds, maybe 15 tops. She began to scan the crowded bowling alley, thinking she was playing hide and seek, but alas, she was gone in a matter of seconds. Teresa's theory is that someone grabbed her and ran outside. Teresa started to search the premises, checking every inch of the bowling alley. She checked the bathroom where her sister was changing her baby in, but told her that she did not see Teekah outside or inside the bathroom. She ran into an off-duty officer who searched the property with Teresa, and he alerted the staff to check the employee-only areas and make a missing child alert over the intercom. To their dismay, most patrons continued to bowl. Police arrived at the bowling alley around 10:30 p.m. and soon searched the area. However, they were finding no trace of Teekah. Teresa explained that Teekah was wary of strangers. She would never talk with them, let alone leave willingly, and would have screamed if they tried to walk off with her, unless she was prevented from doing so. She also knew she couldn't have left on her own because the door to the bowling alley was too heavy for her to open. Also, it was January in Washington, so she was not leaving, especially because she did not have her coat on and was terrified of the dark from the beginning. Investigators faced obstacles due to lack of security cameras. This was 1999 when cameras weren't as prevalent. Also, cell phones were not common. This is also before Amber Alerts. She was listed as an endangered missing child by the Morning, and it was announced that they suspected foul play. Teekah was wearing a Tweety Bird shirt, white sweatpants, and black and white Air Jordans. She was carrying a clear purse with fishes on it. Inside, she had Starburst candies. Missing persons posters soon went up all over town. Teekah was small in stature, standing 3 feet tall and weighing 35 pounds. She is a multiracial African American, Native American, and Caucasian female with brown eyes, black hair with red highlights, and a small gray streak by the hairline. Teekah has patches of light discoloration on her face and the left side of her buttocks due to eczema. She also has a large birthmark on her left buttocks. She has noticeable facial dimples and pierced ears. Teekah is asthmatic and likely requires medication. On January 26, dogs alerted to deserted clothing labeled JS or IS, but they could not be tied to Teekah's case. Her face was soon all over the news, which is how I found out about the case. I saw her on the news when I was 11 years old. A 15-hour search continued with limited clues about where Teekah went. A witness saw an unidentified male speed off in a vehicle. It was a late 1980s or early 1990s maroon or dark-colored Pontiac Grand Am with possible four-door, dark-tinted windows, and a spoiler. Another witness said that a man was seen following a child by the exits. The person was described as a white male, 5 feet 11 inches tall, with a husky build, brown curly or wavy hair, a mustache, and pockmarks on his face. Pockmarks are scars from acne, chickenpox, etc. There has been quite a bit of suspicious activity that has occurred at or near the bowling alley. 2 months before Teekah's disappearance, in November 1998, a man molested a 4-year-old boy in the restrooms. The security guard said that he had seen a man hanging around previously and thought that the man at the bowling alley was his father. Another incident that mirrors Teekah's case is a man approached a 6-year-old child claiming to be his father. This is when his mom came over and told him to hit the bricks, basically. This is a theory that I have thought about. That maybe he told Teekah that he was her dad and convinced her to leave with him. Early on that day, Teekah went missing. A man attempted to abduct 2 children from a park near the bowling alley. The father chased him off as he sped away. He said that he had a blue Pontiac Grand Am. It could be the same guy, but it was dark at the bowling alley. Blue may have looked like maroon in the dark. This man had curly brown hair and a beard. 3 days later, the father of the children who were almost abducted came forward to the police. He told them that the man tried to abduct his kids, but they were never able to locate this man. The police also looked at the family because they looked at the closest to the missing children. As I said before, her father Robert was imprisoned at the time, so he was cleared. Teresa was cleared almost immediately, as she was at the bowling alley and accounted for. She also passed 2 polygraphs. As you know, those are really not reliable, but irregardless, she did not have the means or the motive. They briefly suspected her because of her calm demeanor, but soon was ruled out. We must remember everyone deals with stress differently. She probably disassociated to hopefully find Teekah faster. I would probably act the same. Teresa did recall a woman that acted odd. She asked to hold Teresa's sister-in-law's baby and refused to give them back until forced to do so. When Teresa was outside with police, her sister-in-law ran outside saying that the woman took Tamika, Teresa's 10-month-old baby. She put her in the car seat and refused to give her back until police intervened. Then she made an attempt to unsubscribe from life, if you know what I mean. Her name was Rita Miller and ultimately was committed, revealed no useful information on Teekah. In 2020, Tacoma police released a description of the person of interest seen near Teekah at the bowling alley. He was wearing blue jeans and a blue checkered plaid shirt. The police did not previously release the description of the clothes, and I do not know why you would wait 20 years to release that. Who would remember what someone was wearing 20 years ago? The same year, a man came forward near the 21st anniversary of Teekah's disappearance. He said he was 17 on the night in 1999. He said that night the bowling alley was crowded, but he remembered going to use the bathroom when a man bumped into him. He recalled first that the man was rude, and second that he had a little girl with him. He is sure that girl was Teekah, but at the time he thought it was just the man's daughter. He said that the man bumped into his shoulder very hard, did not apologize, and seemed like he was in a rush. He did not know who Teekah was until days later, and at the time he knew he had to talk to police. He did not hear anything else from police, so he figured his information did not lead to anything. Fast forward 2 decades later, the cold case detective saw his description that matched other descriptions of suspicious persons with pockmarks. Teresa was shown this man and she remembered him from the bowling alley. She said that he is also a follower on a Facebook page dedicated to finding Teekah. The family helped pass Teekah's bill. This would create a special task force of multi-agencies where they worked together to find missing and exploited children like Teekah. The police received a potential break in the case. A little girl was found in the woods, decapitated in St. Louis, Missouri. They called her Princess Doe, but this ended up being Erica Green. Erica's mother and stepfather murdered her, unfortunately. And if you'd like to go into that case, let me know. On January 23rd, 2023, Teekah's family held a candlelight vigil to get her story back out there. They do them every year, hoping to get new information. Her mother said at the vigil, "I'm asking the community to please come forward with any information you have on Teekah. It could be the littlest thing. It could be your neighbor that looks like Teekah. You never know." Every year, she holds hope that Teekah will attend the vigil. I can only imagine how hard that would be. I would constantly be looking for my daughter and never see her. That would be torture. This year's vigil is the one that the police and mayor showed up, which is awful. It does not look like it's gotten much media attention. A woman came forward about her son, referred to as John Doe. He was acting suspicious, asking his mom to leave the country with him. Police said he was a 40-year-old, independently wealthy man, but had mental health issues and most concerningly was sexually deviant towards adults. He did match the description of the suspicious male seen, but claimed he'd never been to the bowling alley, and he died of natural causes in early 2024. They took his DNA and labeled a person of interest, but they had nothing to tie him to Teekah's disappearance. This leads us to the most recent update of a search in May 2025. Police searched the Tacoma property for Teekah, but nothing was found. A man did come forward to Teresa saying that he saw Teekah wandering outside. He said she looked lost, so he approached her, but when she told police they went to speak with him, he essentially said she was lying, that he never spoke with her and never seen Teekah and was not the bowling alley. For what it's worth, in 2010, he was found guilty of child luring at a bowling alley named Tower Lanes in October 2010. It is too much of a coincidence. The bowling alley Teekah disappeared from was torn down and is now a Home Depot. That man lived really close to Tower Lanes bowling alley. Police did search his home, but I do not think they found anything because he was never linked to Teekah's case. And his identity was never made public. When he was on the news, you only see the back of his head and appears to have curly hair. In December, Teresa launched a toy drive in Teekah's honor called Hope for Teekah, Joy for Every Child. On the 27th anniversary of Teekah's disappearance, Teresa started Teekah's Legacy Foundation. This allows the public to donate, and the money goes to helping other families look for their loved ones. They're also starting to hold events to help out the community. I plan on donating money and volunteering to help the family. I will leave information in a pinned comment for anyone who would like to either donate or volunteer. As of April 2026, when I make this video, Teekah has been missing for 27 years. A beloved mother has no answers. All she has to hang onto is the coat that Teekah wore to the bowling alley, her treasured Winnie the Pooh stuffed bear, and hope. Hope that she's out there somewhere, and that she's safe and may find her someday. Teekah's grandmother passed away and promised to give a sign if she was in heaven. She has not received a sign, so she assumes that Teekah is still alive, which is just heartbreaking. Teresa has submitted her DNA to Ancestry and other websites in case Teekah was adopted and went looking for a family. If you have information on Teekah's disappearance or whereabouts, please contact the Tacoma Police Department. I will leave the information in a pinned comment as well. This case is very personal to me. I was 11 years old when this happened. At this point in my life, I never heard of kids getting abducted or anything. I remember seeing on the news. It has stuck with me for 27 years, and I've never forgot her face. I still remember her Tweety Bird shirt vividly. I truly hope this finally can be solved. I have mixed feelings about what I think, honestly. I hope she's alive, but I know if she is, she may not be in a good place. Maybe abused or in trafficking of some sort. But I do not want to see that she was murdered. It's just a difficult case. Hopefully, we can get some closure for Teresa. As of April 2026, when this is posted, she would be 30 in July. I want to know your opinions. Please be respectful. I believe in rational discussions using our individual life experiences and perspectives. They can allow us to think about things differently. Comment, subscribe, and like. If you have any future cases you would like me to cover, please request a case using my form in the description. Join me next time when I discuss an unsolved family murder out of California for my Wicked Wednesday series. Until next time, stay curious, cautious, and safe. And remember, kiss and hug your children. Take care. Bye.